Hey everybody, it's Vince's friend, and guess where I am? I am in my hotel room, and I am in Minneapolis. I am about, say, 5 miles away from Paisley Park.
Thank you.
Hey. Which is just kind of crazy. I was actually up here about a month ago and had no plans on coming back, but what ended up happening was a couple of weeks ago, right before Thanksgiving, I was sent an invitation from Mahogany Music, who represents Moody Man, and it had just been announced, this was on the 14th, that Moody Man was going to be doing a concert here in Paisley Park. And they asked me if I would like to attend. And first off, I was blown away. It was just an amazing opportunity for me to get come and see Paisley again. But just the fact that the people from Mahogany, they said, hey, we like your channel, we want you to come out, we want you to have some fun, come and enjoy the show. And I'm excited to do it. I can't wait to do it. And of course, this is an early live stream before I kind of get on with my day. And wanted to jump on here, obviously, early enough that the overseas people, that seemed to work out really well, where I had a lot of overseas people last time. And, Saturday mornings, I don't have kids around messing with me. It makes it really, really an opportune time for us to do a live stream. Also, there's been lots and lots of estate news that I have not been able to get to. I haven't made a video for a lot of different things that I want to talk about. So I thought, hey, what better time than to do that this morning. And I see we have a lot of people. Morgan is here, Trippy Nation, Wesley, we have MXWL. Let's see. I was wondering if you had a favorite Gold Experience song. Mine's Endorphin Machine. I do like that one. And definitely good to see you, Tita. Definitely good to see you. So there is a bunch of amazing news that is coming out, and it's been out for a while. There's a few of them. So I'm going to hit just a couple here. The first one is that the estate wants to trademark the color purple in conjunction with music. So you couldn't use the nickname The Purple One or The Purple Something or something to that effect. And I don't really know how I feel about that. I think that trademarking purple is, I don't know, it's like it's a good thing and also a bad thing. It's a good thing because, they're trying to protect the legacy and all that stuff. They don't want somebody else to come in now that Prince is gone and be like, well, the color purple's mine. And then people forget that the color purple was associated with Prince. Of course, a lot of people have said that Prince's favorite color was purple. But then, of course, then there were also reports a while ago that it was really orange. I mean, there's really no telling. There's no way to really know. I don't know if anybody ever asked him, what is your favorite color? But anyway, the color purple is the color that is most associated with him. And the question is, and I'm seeing a couple people in the comments, you cannot trademark the color purple. That is true that you can't just trademark just a color. There are specific colors. So you can always do specific shades that you get a certain CMS color and it becomes its own thing. And then you can trademark that color. And Prince was given his own purple color from the CMS people. So there's that. And I know a bunch about CMS colors and whatnot. I used to do t-shirt printing, and there you go. So there's that. But also, they're not trying to just do the just purple in general. They're doing purple in conjunction with music, the color purple as it goes with stuff like that. So it's weird, and it was announced. When was that announced? It was late October was when that was announced. So I'm a little late on that. but there is no update. Oh, it's still just kind of hanging out there. It's kind of silly, honestly, to try to trademark a color. But I think the estate right now is trying to get away with whatever they can get away with, in terms of trying to secure money and trying to make sure that Prince's legacy and stuff doesn't go away. I don't know if that's the right way to go about it, but that is what it is. I don't know what to say about it. Hello to everybody who is popping in, and I apologize. I'm going to end up going back through and answering questions and doing stuff like that, but I did want to hit these specific estate notes here. So definitely thank you to everybody who is showing up and willing to listen to me ramble. So there's that. And obviously you can put a question in there and I'll try to get to it. If you want to hit that super chat button, that'll make it pop up much more for me and I'll be able to definitely go ahead and get that answered. There's actually a channel that I watch, that they talk about a bunch of, like, here's how to do YouTube stuff. And what they do is they have like a Google form that you can go and submit your questions, and then they read questions off of the Google form as opposed to from the comments. And that might be something that I do in the future. Who knows? But I don't know. It seems interesting. But, it seems really good for me to talk about estate stuff since I am in Minneapolis. So it seems fitting for me to go ahead and talk about these things here. So the second piece of news, and this actually was out about a week ago and nobody talked about it. And I think it's because it's almost non-news. The Prince estate was put on notice that there's an impending lawsuit over heirship. So apparently there is this other guy, his name is Odega Patrick, and he says that he is Prince's son. I have no pictures or anything, but he has sent a letter to the estate saying that he plans on suing. So it's not an actual lawsuit. It's him saying, I plan on suing. And it says here, but of course, there's no genetic testing that's been done. And what he says, he claims that he has, quote, been deprived from assuming ownership of the Prince estate for nearly a year, and says this delay of justice has cost him over $100 million in possible revenue due to the inability to access the assets of the estate. This was really only reported on like one or two outlets. It wasn't a big story. And I think it's because it's kind of a non-story. There's not really, this guy says that he is gonna sue, maybe. So who even knows what that means? But I'll be interested to see what ends up happening with this Ogeda. Oh, I said Odega before. It's Ogeda Patrick. Weird. I don't know. It was obtained from court documents, so it's not like he put out a press release or anything. Interesting stuff. I don't know if I believe it, but since I did a video about the other lady who said she was his daughter, now there's a guy who's saying that he's his son. Who knows what's going to end up actually happening with these? I would assume, since nothing happened with the other one, that nothing happened with this one. So I don't know. All right. So number two, that's the second. The third piece of news is, and this actually was reported by the Purple Underground a little bit ago. They scooped me on it, and then because they did such a good job kind of talking about it, I didn't do a video about it. So if you aren't subscribed to the Purple Underground, definitely go and subscribe to them. They're really, really awesome people. CMS, P. Ross, great people over there. The estate has won the case with Deliverance, about Deliverance. So if you don't know what Deliverance was, I think it's either 5 or 6 tracks. I'm not remembering off the top of my head right now. But it was a short kind of EP that Prince produced with Ian Boxall, who was the producer, and Ian Boxall kept the recordings from that. And when Prince died, he decided he wanted to release that as a big release, and it was coming out opposite the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition, and it was a whole bunch of, there was lawsuits and stuff to get him to stop doing that. So it actually ended up getting released. I purchased it on the first day, and then on the second day it was gone. So that's what ended up happening. That was over a year ago, like a year and a half ago. And it was just announced November 14th that the Prince estate has won and got a judgment for $4 million in damages over the release of Deliverance. Now, I know that there's a lot of people who are saying, you know, how is he going to have $4 million? Well, when I bought that EP, it was, I think, $9. And I did pay for it, and I gave him my $9.99. I gave it to him, and I can only assume that lots and lots of other people also did, because it kind of scooped the estate and became the first posthumous release that, I don't know, it's just weird. But it did, he did lose, and he's going to have to give them $4 million. That is bonkers. Yeah. So hopefully nobody tries to do anything like that again. And honestly, I think what this was, I don't even think it was about the money. I think it was about the principle of the thing of like, hey, I happen to have some Prince stuff, I'm going to release it, as opposed to, you know, and that was the thing about that release, was that he even said like, hey, I'm going to give like half of the proceeds and stuff to the estate. But that was something that he just said he was going to do, and not something that he had actually said like and planned with the estate. So he was trying to act as an independent kind of agent out there and doing that stuff. So anyway, but he did lose, and I just want to say I love Deliverance, and I don't know, I thought that it was magnificent, and I listen to Deliverance all the time, not just the single, but the whole Deliverance EP is just amazing. Yes, I'm a loud drinker, and I apologize. So that is a piece of news. I have two more pieces of news, and then we're going to get to questions and stuff. Seeing now for about 12 minutes. I'm going to try and round it out at about 15 minutes of actual estate news. And then I want to then talk about some stuff that's going on here. So the last, second to last, the penultimate piece of news is actually really recent, only a few days, or actually 2 days ago or something. But Paisley Park and Minneapolis schools are partnering to make Prince's world accessible to students. So this is kind of an interesting story, because on the surface, it sounds like it's bigger than it is. So essentially what's happening here is that Paisley Park and the estate, they are opening Paisley Park and giving students in the Minneapolis area, and then probably the Twin Cities area here, free access to Paisley Park. You're going to be able to go to Paisley Park for free if you're a student. And the idea is that people will be able to see the creativity and see what Prince created, and kind of use that as a way to kind of inspire themselves and whatnot. Now, that is kind of what it is. What it's kind of being touted as is almost like, you know, Paisley Park is giving lots of money to, you know, music education and stuff like that. And it's because he was always about like, hey, you know, pick up an instrument, keep this thing going. You should learn how to play stuff. You know, music was super important to Prince. And I like the fact that people now, and the students, the young people, will be able to go and check out Prince and what he did, I guess with the tours and whatnot. Is if they actually did start taking some money and started giving it to the schools. I would actually love to see that. That's not to say that they aren't doing that, but just that I think it would be interesting if I say we, I'm not really a part of it, but it would be interesting if they took that and they they started doing even more with that. And I think that's what this is. I think this is a really good kind of stepping stone for them to possibly be able to do more. And I'm going over my 15 minutes. So the estate did announce that they were going to be uploading the 1995 to 2000 and hanging out with people and all that stuff yesterday. But yesterday was the day that they were supposed to have released some videos that were already on YouTube. And that's kind of the confusing thing here. So what they had listed for November 30th was Musicology, Call My Name, Cinnamon Girl, Black Sweat, Te Amo Corazon, and Fury. And of course, the first four were already on YouTube. Te Amo Corazon and Fury did not get uploaded yesterday, which is kind of worrying because what the hell? but also, I mean, what are we going to do with that? Like, if they are making this game plan and they're not following through on that, I'm not really sure what that means going forward. Like they were up to date on all the rest of them. Last week was You Make My Sunshine. The week before that was Interactive, and The Greatest Romance Ever Sold was actually already on there. But it was Hot With You. So I mean, that's what ended up happening last time. But I don't know. And if anybody has any more information about where those videos might have ended up or whatever. Now I know that there was some confusion because some of the videos that they said they were going to be uploading new to the Prince channel were already on YouTube, but they were on other channels. They weren't on the official Prince channel. There are some channels who are putting up Prince videos and putting official music video at the end. And I don't know, I guess tricking people into thinking that they're the official music video and kind of okay, I guess I disappeared for a second there. Bad internet. But hopefully, hopefully you guys are still here. That was kind of weird. And if you guys can't hear me or anything, let me know. But anyway, what ended up happening was I think that those other channels out there are, they're obviously, it's called clickbaiting and all that stuff. So they put, official music video at the end of their thing. And then people are like, oh, it's the official music video. So anyway, I apologize for the bad internet connection there. It was not you, Chef Carter. But yeah, I am back, and you're saying you can't see me. No visuals. No, we need to have the visuals. Hopefully you can see me now. My camera is working, and it says my camera is working, so I'm not exactly sure why you wouldn't be able to see me. Okay. Let me know if you can't see me still, because I'm pretty sure that I have it. Okay. So hopefully this is working now. Okay, awesome. Yeah. All right. And what ended up happening there is my really good cameras apparently with the it's not working. I don't know why. But anyway, technical difficulties there. Don't you just love the internet? But anyway, keep an eye on some of those videos, and like ping me, because I'm going to be busy today and a lot of tomorrow on plane trips and stuff. But ping me and let me know if those videos do pop up before I notice them. Let me know, because I would like to know. And if not, then I may end up, trying to, I don't know, contact the estate. I don't know if they'd even listen to me. Who am I? I'm nobody. Okay, cool. So let's see here. So those are all my news. So the reason that I'm here, and I did talk about it at the beginning of the live stream, is that I was invited by Moody Man's team because he's doing the show tonight at Paisley. So if you have not heard of Moody Man, let me give you just a little bit about Moody Man. He's a Detroit DJ, and he's a big fan of Prince, and to the point where he does entire sets that are Prince. He's done some in New York, he's done some in Paris, and he decided that this year he was going to do it at Paisley Park. And that is amazingly cool. And if you get the chance to look him up, I would definitely look him up. And people are saying that they still can't see me, and I don't understand that. So I don't know what to do. Can everybody see me? Okay, cool. All right, you're seeing me now. Um, okay, so oh, and somebody says here, you've seen one of the shows in New York. Awesome. So yeah, so I've heard great things. If you look him up online, Moody Man, Moodymannn, then you will be able to check out some of his really cool stuff that he does. And apparently tonight at Paisley, and I don't know if it's sold out or not, but if you can get here, come and watch it. But essentially, he's going to do an entire night of Prince music, remixed, B-sides, all kinds of stuff. Should be really, really fun. And of course, I'm trying to arrange it and get Stone to come with me, and should be fun. And of course, this week coming up in terms of reviews, I was recently on the Purple Current, which is like a sub show of the Current, which is the radio station here in Minneapolis. And I got to record myself on the Purple Current. And obviously, if you're a patron at patreon.com/princessfriend, you've already heard like the segment and the playlist because it's over there on the Patreon. But if you haven't, you're going to be able to see it next week because I will be uploading that, as well as some more trivia and some more fun stuff that we did with the host, John McPherson. And we're going to be able to do that stuff. Thank you so much. I've gotten a lot of compliments on this red shirt, the Princess Friend shirt, which of course you can get either there's a link in the description for princessfriend.threadless.com, or right underneath the video that you're watching right now. This is actually a really cool thing that YouTube started doing, is that you can set up a store with Teespring. And if you become with Teespring, you can order right from the YouTube video page. I was like, what? This is an example of one from Teespring. Some of the others that I've worn were from Threadless. I think that they're both really good. I think the printing is slightly better on the Teespring shirts, but I think the shirts are slightly more comfortable from Threadless. So it's a weird thing, and I don't mind having two different stores because I think they deliver different things. But thank you for the compliment that you did like my shirt. So what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna go all the way back, and I'm gonna try and go through some of the questions that you guys have been posting here. I'm excited to be in Minneapolis. I went out last night with both Stone and Sean McPherson from The Current. We hung out and had drinks and just talked, and it was an amazing time, which is why my voice sounds like this, because we were in a bar and having an amazing time. But it was a lot of fun. Live stream this morning. I think today, during the day, I believe that we may be going around and seeing some of the sites and the things. I still have not seen the fake Lake Minnetonka. I would like to go check out the bench that is out there. That was you know, commemorated to Prince, which I don't even think that's the word, commemorated. But I do want to see, you know, the bench that was put up a while ago with the little red Corvette and all that stuff with the mural. I do want to go see those things because I did not get to see those things last time. So, so let's see. Everyone should get a Prince symbol tattoo. I have two, 1 year ago and one after he passed. Okay, I have one, which is this one. I don't know if I'm gonna get another. I think the one is probably good. If I did anything, I might add to the one. That sounds like that would be interesting. Miss Honeygirl, well, thank you. I'm glad that you like the channel. Oh, and I do want to I want to talk a little bit about the channel because as of yesterday, we hit 1.5 million views on the channel, which is blows my mind. Also, we've already crossed over the 13,000 subscriber threshold. So many great things that we're building up so big right now as we get to the end of the year. And I have a lot of videos that will be coming out within now and when I decide to go ahead and take either a week or two. Now, I know in the last couple of years, I've taken 2 weeks at the end of the year. I might only take one because I have a lot of stuff that I really still do want to get out to you guys, but maybe that last week might be just like, you know, very sporadic. I might just have 1 or 2 videos. But anyway, wow, I can really ramble. So let's see. So excited about oh no. All right, so the air conditioner just popped on. So hopefully that is not going to just destroy the sound here. Let's see. Was there any more news about all the Prince albums being reissued? Great question, Morgan. No. Right now, what we have is, I guess all of the stuff was just going to be released digitally, you know, because the whole idea that they were going to re-release these albums, that was announced in like June or July. So at this point, now that we are in December officially as of today, if they haven't said anything about reissuing them physically, they're likely not going to. And it sucks, but I think that's just the way that it's going to have to be. I don't think that they're going to do it. Now, if they come out tomorrow and be like, well, we did decide that we're going to do it, well, then awesome. But nothing in anything that they've you know, announced or talked about in any of their official communications has given me the idea that they're going to reissue any of the albums physically. Now, of course, we're in a digital age, so you can buy it digitally and burn your own CD. So that might be what you want to do. Of course, that doesn't get you the liner notes or the booklet or, you know, everything like that. Yes, that does suck. But at least the music is there to be gotten. So I guess that's just that. And again, if anybody wants to hit that super chat button, it'll make finding your question specifically a lot easier. Otherwise, I'm sifting through. So let's see. How many albums have been reissued on CD? None, as far as I know. Purple Rain was a remaster, it was not just a reissue, so I don't think that one counts. But yeah, so Minneapolis is my holy land. I think it's mine too. Every time I come here, I like feel all the love and the positivity, and then I feel like I want to move here. And funny enough, there was an opportunity for me to move here if I was to take a job. And then, of course, what that ended up starting was a conversation of, yeah, but if I had a job, then the whole point of moving here, which would be to do the channel more and have more stuff for the channel, would be diluted because I would then now have a 40-hour-a-week job, which would mean I would be able to do a lot less with the channel. So I was like, well, then no. You know, I'm doing okay in Florida, and you know, this is my 3rd trip up to Minneapolis this year, where I thought it was only going to be ever 1. So I'm getting a lot more opportunities to come up. So I'm excited about that. And who knows how many times I'm going to come up, you know, next year. Who knows? I know I'm definitely coming for Celebration, but the other times, who knows what's going to happen. So let's see. Hi from Russian fans. Wow, thank you. Hello to you, Birmingham, England, Rialto, California, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Lots of love from everywhere. Really awesome. Thank you guys for coming to the live stream here. Let's see, the Purple Underground. As soon as you're done talking, I'm gonna go check them out. Definitely do. Purple Underground is the shit. Ooh, I'm sorry, I just cursed. That's not good. Let's see. Now it's not family friendly anymore. So let's see. Prince Friend. You should put braids in your hair. I think that will make you look sexy. But you're handsome with the way your hair is now. If you go back to the Purple Rain Remastered, funny, I just mentioned that. If you go back to the Purple Rain Remastered videos that I did, I had braids. I thought that they looked really good, but they were put in really tight, and then apparently I have a sensitive scalp, and then it kind of started messing with my scalp, and that was not a fun time for me. So I've been reluctant to get the braids again, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But you will be able to go back to those videos and you can see what it looks like with me to have braids if you're interested in that sort of thing. Let's see. Are they going to start releasing live videos to YouTube? I think that might be their next thing. And the reason that I think that is because I think it's because of the way that they're rushing through all of the YouTube, the music videos, right? So like I said in the other video that I did about the music videos is that they could have released 1 or 2 a week, but there are some weeks where they're throwing out, 5, 6 onto the channel. And it just seems like an odd choice if there's nothing to come after that. So it seems like they're trying to rush through all of the music videos, and the hope is that they're doing that because they're trying to get through them to get to something. And if the live performance are that, then that would be really, really cool if that's the case, because I would love to start seeing some official, high quality, well shot live performances from Prince. If they released it on a DVD, I would totally just go buy it. If they throw it up on YouTube, there's a lot of options that they could do, which would be like channel membership if you wanted access to those, which would be a way to essentially charge you for the shows and stuff like that. So there are ways to do stuff that that could be just as useful here on YouTube, since they do have a lot of different tools here. Prince did a lot of music, and why we all have is just piano and a microphone. I mean, that was the choice of the estate to release piano and a microphone the way that they did as his first posthumous album. And it's not a choice that I would have made, which I think I've been pretty vocal about. I don't think that the album itself is bad. I just think that it was poorly thought out. Like, why is that? Like, if it was a bonus disc on a release of something else, like if it was like the Lost 1983 album, and we're going to give you this, like, okay, that might make sense. But like, to release that by itself, I mean, essentially what you're doing is you're taking a practice session and releasing it as a thing. Like, why would you release a practice session when you have actual albums and stuff in the vault? So I kind of agree with you. I'm really hoping that it ends up being something like the next album is going to be an amazing thing. And Kristen, thank you. I see that you said that you became a patron. Appreciate it. That you don't understand how helpful the patrons are in terms of this channel continuing on. So it is actually really, really cool. Let's see. What about his book? That is a very good question, Sunny B. His book was slated to be out Christmas time, was what we were told. Christmas time is I guess now. I guess it's now. I guess it was right after Thanksgiving is Christmas time in America. So I would think that we should hear some sort of news, hopefully within the next week or two, is my thought. It's just my thought. So hopefully we do hear some news on that. I'm going to try to follow up on that a bit and see what happens. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. What bar were we at? The Red Stag was the bar that we were at last night. Really nice bar. It was kind of a bar / restaurant, but really nice, and the service was great. So there you go. You got to take care of your voice, keep throat covered, and make sure not to drink too hot, too cold. Oh, well, I guess so I have my hot coffee and I have my cold water here. So I think I'm breaking all of your rules. So I apologize for that. Sorry. Let's see. How long will I be here? I'm actually leaving tomorrow morning, or tomorrow like noon, I think is when I'm leaving. So I'm not staying too long, and that was mostly because it was a last minute addition to my traveling schedule, and obviously my wife has only so much PTO and whatnot, so I can't like go home later. We've already used all the PTO for this year, so you know, she's got to watch the kids if I'm not there, because as everybody knows, I do this channel in addition to my writing career, in addition to being a stay-at-home caretaker for my 3 kids. So there you go. No tats for you. I mean, tats are a personal thing. What I found, though, is that after you get your first tattoo, you'll want more. So if you don't want tattoos, definitely don't get that first one, because now I have 3. I have the puzzle piece, which is for my son, and I have, obviously, Prince's love symbol, which is for Prince, and then I recently got the turtle, which represents my daughter, and fun stuff. I enjoy it, and I'm gonna wait for my youngest son, Evan, who's only 2.5. I got to see what he gets into, and then whatever he gets into, then I will get some tattoo about that. Now I'm obsessed with them, because that's what happens. As soon as you get one tattoo, you definitely want to get tons of tattoos. Let's see. Still kind of nice to have the brand new piano and a microphone, 1983, and especially the rehearsal of Nothing Compares to You and the Purple Rain Deluxe Edition. I think that the releases that they're coming out with, so here's the thing, right? It's kind of like, yes, I'm happy to get something, but because something is better than nothing. But I also think that that they could be making better choices with what they are giving, especially since I also saw that the estate and some of the heirs are fighting and saying, like, don't release Piano and Microphone 83, because that's not in line with Prince's legacy and all that stuff. And, you know, essentially the estate is like, we don't care what you say, we're going to do whatever we're going to do. So, I mean, that's kind of just that's what we're facing. That's what we're faced with right now. So let's see. Why don't they release Blu-ray Montrose shows? I loved the Montrose shows. They totally should do that. What do I think Prince would feel about his music being used in commercials? So Prince, what was interesting was just yesterday, or it was the day before, I saw a commercial that had a Prince song in it. And yes, there's the Capital One and all that stuff, but Prince made a deal with Verizon and released, because again, Prince was always looking for new ways to distribute his music. And he had a deal with Verizon that he would have his song Guitar in a Verizon commercial. And what Verizon customers could do is, if they bought a phone, they downloaded an app, then they could get that song for free. And that was an interesting thing. But of course, that had Prince's approval, that had Prince saying, I think this is a good idea. It's a way to get music out. It's not just using a song in a commercial. It was a way to get people closer to his music. And I think that's the key here, because, you know, just using a song in a commercial is kind of like, you know, especially like the Capital One commercial. That's the one I always harp on it, because they use Let's Go Crazy in a Capital One commercial. That's a credit card. So it's essentially saying, just go crazy. And you know, just spend all your money. And the visuals in the commercial did not match the song at all, because the visuals in the commercial are, you know, a family going to the movies and going to the museum, and oh my God, the kid's is so cute. And I'm just like, the kid is being really cute at the line where he's saying, I called up my old lady and she picked up the phone. And then of course it fades out when it gets to the part with the, you know, part. But still, it's like that, you shouldn't have to fade out, because that song has, you should not use that song. It has nothing to do with anything. So anyway, also Purple Underground did an interesting discussion about the latest Amazon commercial that used a Jackson song, not a Michael Jackson song, a song from the Jacksons. Check that out too, because that was kind of interesting discussion that they did. Let's see. Austin, Texas, Spain, Buckingham, London, Sydney. You guys rock. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out with me this morning in my hotel room, which is it's really, I mean, I have the blinds closed, but if I open them for you, you would see that it is very much snowing. And well, actually, I don't think it's snowing, but it definitely has snow on the ground. Anyway, I'm not going to try and do that mid here. Kim Berry said Prince was tender-headed too. Well, that's good to know, at least. Let's see. All right, I just skipped ahead a bunch, so I think I'm going to miss a couple of you. Did I listen to Jay-Z's verse in the Meek Mill track? I have not, but I've seen people posting about it, but I have not gone and listened to it myself. Casey Rain from The Violent Reality apparently did not like it, from what I got from his tweet. But maybe I'll have more to say after I listen to it. We'll see. I don't actually like Meek Mill, so I didn't realize that there was a song there, because I don't really follow him. Let's see. Why are we talking about my hair? Because somebody asked me about my hair. It's a live stream. Come on now. Let's see. Guys have hair too. Just saying. So it's cool. Don't get all up in arms. We talk about everything here. It's all good. Hey everyone, I feel hugged from all you other P friends. Being with others, feeling love for Prince. Exactly. That's exactly what all this is about. What happened to the book that Taika was working on? You know, I only heard that she was working on a book, but no dates or anything was thrown out there, nothing to that effect. So it could mean that nothing is happening. It could mean that everything is happening and we just don't know about it. So at this point, we really just don't know. Let's see. I got a new Prince CD. It is good. I agree with you. It's like a jam session. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's just you know, that's, I don't know. So let's see. Did I like the new Nicki Minaj CD? I don't think I've listened to it all the way through, but from what I've heard from the singles, I wasn't a big fan of the duet with Ariana Grande this time around. I loved the one on the Peak Print that they did together, but this time around, I don't know, it didn't feel as good. But I did like the Chun-Li song. She's a really good rapper, so I really do like that stuff. So let's see. Why did they release an anthology instead of an album? Well, so they released an anthology at the same time that they were making all of the albums available, Music for the Soul. Thank you for the question. So when they said like, hey, we're re-releasing all of the albums from 1995 to 2010, they also released a compilation of that. So if you didn't know if you wanted any of the individual albums, you could just purchase the anthology. And then if you're like, ooh, I like that track, cool, then you could figure out what album that's on and then go buy that album. Honestly, it's a good way to do it, because I had no problem with that. Go and check out my review for that anthology to get my full thoughts on the song selection and stuff. But I think that the anthology itself was pretty good, and I've listened to it a few times through myself just because it's easier to do that than hit shuffle and then have to skip songs and blah blah blah. You can just kind of hit that, and there's a bunch of really good tracks on there. Derek, thank you for showing up, and I'm probably really late on answering this. What are important Prince destinations to visit besides Paisley Park while in Minneapolis? I've never been, but looking forward to going. So when I came last time, well, when I came for Celebration, I hit a lot of different things. You have to go to First Avenue, because First Avenue is really great, and you can go and take a picture next to the Gold Star, Prince's Gold Star. So that's really awesome. Obviously Paisley Park. And from there, you can go and see, I think it's Henderson Lake, or it's not Lake Minnetonka, but the fake Lake Minnetonka, that's also a thing I have not seen. There's the Graffiti Bridge that I know a lot of people have gone and seen, the Graffiti Bridge that inspired the song Graffiti Bridge, but also there's a bunch of pictures of Prince at the Graffiti Bridge in Alan Bolio's book, Prince Before the Rain, that just recently came out. I've done a bunch of videos on that, so I won't belabor that anymore. So there is, there's quite a bit of stuff to see here. So like you could just come here and you could have like a weekend of sightseeing. I'll leave it at that. I think there are a few different things that you can see there, and I think it's fine. But thank you for the question, Derek. That was really good. Let's see. Oh God, it just skipped again. Here's an interesting question. Oh, I did find my place again. Here's an interesting question for you. Could the Prince estate add the unreleased song called Moonbeam Levels into the 1999 reissue? Yeah, I mean, I guess they could, although that's already out there now. It was already part of the Prince Forever release, that anthology / compilation. So I mean, you could have it included in there, but I don't know what the benefit of doing that would be. So it's a good song though. I really like that song. Do I think Prince influenced Gothic rock with his classical genre? That's an interesting question. I've never really thought that. I actually do have some friends who are goth, and you know, they do like the kind of some of the darker aspects that Prince did at certain points in his career. But I don't know if he would be any part of an inspiration to that genre. Like when I think of Prince and I think of like Robert Smith. Robert Smith obviously did a ton more to inspire the goth movement than Prince ever would have done. I admire you for making time for your writing career in addition. Well, thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that. Oh, Electric Fetus. Good job, Mia Boca. Obviously, Electric Fetus would have to be added to the places to visit. Let's see. How do I think Prince's estate has shown Prince live in the Aladdin 2002? Well, yeah, I mean, so they have a lot of footage of Prince because Prince was notorious for recording pretty much everything. Like every show he's ever been to, he's recorded it. So there you go. Like that's kind of ridiculous, but I mean, you know, I've always thought of Prince as kind of like that basketball player. Like he records himself live and he watches it back so that he can see how to improve. And I think that that's why he had such great live performances. He knew where he should change things. He knew where he needed to put a different song in here, change the set list stuff. And he was a master of his craft because he honed in on it and really tried to make his shows amazing. So I think that that's really awesome. So I feel like that did not answer that question, but I veered off and I don't actually remember the original question now. Would I call Dirty Mind a punk album? Yes. And I think I did in the review that I did for Dirty Mind. It was really punk. You know, yeah. So yes is the answer there. I'll stop rambling on that. So I did a video about what I thought the next album was going to be. And it ended up being Piano to Microphone 1983. AKA intimate moments with Prince. But it also, but my guess was that it was going to be a 1999 deluxe edition remaster or whatever. So it didn't end up happening that way, but maybe that'll happen. You know, maybe that's an album that they can release next year. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that you like my interpretation of the music and the commercials. Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. Isabel. I like that. I like it with the S instead of the Z. I don't know why. Was I pleased with the last release? You should go check out my review. I think you'll see. Telly's Muse. Hey, PF. Hey, Telly's Muse. So let's see. The way... I'm not really sure how to read that. So there's weird words going on in that. Should they make a Crystal Ball 2? If they made a Crystal Ball 2, I would buy it. Because I buy everything. Even Piano and a Microphone 83, and it wasn't really my favorite. I bought it twice, because I bought it once for me, and then I bought one to give away to you guys. So I think that anything that they put out, we're going to buy. The question is a Crystal Ball 2 going to attract new listeners to Prince's music? And I think that is what needs to be focused on, because that was my main gripe with releasing that album, was that it's not going to bring new people in. And that's what the estate needs. Like, you can cater to us all you want, but whatever you release, we're going to probably end up buying anyway. But I don't even know if that's true for 1980, for the Piano and a Mic 1983. God, it's such a long title. I keep saying it over and over again, for that last release. But I don't even know. Like, I wonder how many of you bought it versus, you know I bought 2 copies, but not everybody is going to be that dedicated as I am. You want to see another album from the time? That would be cool. I'd like for them to do that. They did release an entire album called what's it? Condensate. It was under the name The Original 7. So if you haven't seen that, that might be a new album for you. You never even know. Let's see. What do I think about some people saying that Bruno Mars is the next Prince? Not really. I think that Bruno Mars is most likely, I mean, he's more akin to a new Michael Jackson than he is to a new Prince, but I don't even think he's a new Michael Jackson either. I think that he is kind of his own thing. I don't like the idea that people have to be the next something. Like, they can't just be their own thing. We always have to be able to relate them back to something that we know and that's familiar. So I don't think he needs that. I think Bruno Mars is his own thing, and I think that that's perfectly fine. Let's see. Any news on the Justice for Cuz? Not yet. No. It's not something that I've been following a whole lot, but I do try to stay up on the individual events. Like, if I see something happening, I try to, do it. But it's not in. I haven't seen a lot of movement. But I will say that there has been. So there was a thing that which was really interesting, and a lot of people are like, that these channels don't do anything. But Peace Love's channel, she did a video where she talked about the investigation and how there was a conflict of interest with the investigator being friends with Kirk Johnson and whatnot. And then, like, a couple of weeks later, I saw that they started investigating that again. So I think that that's really awesome, because I think that that's showing that, these YouTube channels do stuff. And, I commend Peace Love for doing that, investigation and whatnot. I think it's really awesome that somebody is doing that. I don't have the chops for it. It's not anything that I don't think I could do it. I don't think I have the emotional stability to do it. I think I would just lose it. But it's really cool that it is happening. So let's see. So let's see. God. I know this is riveting stuff. It's just me going. Do I have the new book, Prince Before the Rain? I do. I did a review of it, and I've been slowly releasing interviews and panels and stuff about the book because the book was really good, and also I got to contribute to it. So yes, I actually ended up getting 5 copies, and I kept 2 for myself. I gave 1 to my mom, and then I gave 2 away to you guys. So that was really fun, and I enjoyed doing that. Anytime that I can give something away, I just love doing it. Why do you think Prince has so much food in his songs? I think because food is like a universal language. You know, even if we don't speak the same language, if I go, do you want some pizza? You'd be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yes, pizza, this triangle thing, it's awesome. So I think that that's kind of a big deal in terms of relatability of Prince's music, like food, like it's the universal language. Prince had an interview where he quoted that we were not ready for his music in the vault yet with a smile. Yep. Yeah, he did. I saw that interview. It was really good. Thank you for the comment there, Debbie. Let's see. If Prince were alive, do you think Dirty Mind 2 would be done with Lil Kim, Eve, Nicki Minaj, Trina, Too Short, and the MPG? Is that a thing that's happening? I haven't heard anything about that. I'll have to look into that. If he was alive, maybe, because, well, no, because maybe. I don't know. I think I'd have to know more about what it is before I could really answer that. So let's see. One thing I've thought about, this is from Sonic to me. One thing I thought about, isn't Take Me With You pretty similar to a lot of the material on Around the World in a Day? It has a softer sound with the strings and the tambourines. I think you're right. It does kind of sound like some of that stuff. But I don't know. It's so, I mean, and I'm sure he recorded a bunch of the stuff kind of around the same time. And I know that Take Me With You was like a last minute addition to the soundtrack because I think it was supposed to go on the Apollonia 6 album and ended up on the Purple Rain album. But yeah, that was pretty good. Good question. So let's see. Good job on the show about Rosie Gaines. Thank you. I love Rosie, and I've done now 3 of those. Bye, Sugar Bum. I've now done 3 of those. I did one on Rosie Gaines, I did one on Des Dickerson, and then the latest one was about Andre Simone. And all 3 of those videos have gotten great traction on the channel. But really, I like doing it because I like kind of exploring those relationships a little bit with Prince and like what those meant and how they ended. And, you know, some of them ended really well, some of them didn't end so well. But I really, really like doing those videos, and I hope to do more of those in the future. You know, on top of the reviews and the discussions that we kind of already do. I think that's kind of the fun thing about doing this this channel, is that even if I didn't have a channel, I would be pulling somebody aside and talking about Prince to them. But the fun thing is that I get to do it now with all of you instead. So yay. So let's see. Have I read Prince and the Purple Rain studio sessions thoughts? So I have not read it. I have it. I actually got it through I got the audiobook version. I forgot the company that I got it through, but I got a free download of the audiobook that I plan on listening to flying home, because that was definitely one of those things that I wanted to hear. So there you go. So hopefully soon, and as soon as I do that too, I'll probably end up doing a review of that book, because I've heard really good things about that book. So I'm excited to actually end up reading it. It's by Dwayne Tudall, Dwayne Tudall, who should know his stuff. So good stuff there. Have I seen the Bohemian Rhapsody movie? No, but I have seen some videos about the Bohemian Rhapsody movie and how like not accurate it is, but I'll still go see it anyway. It sounds like it's going to be a fun time. Let's see. I think what you're doing is great. I have watched you and Peace Love grow, and you guys are amazing. Have you been able to keep up with your guitar lessons? So I haven't, because I've been out of town a lot, and what I'm actually doing starting next week is I'm going to start taking actual lessons as opposed to just me trying to, putz around with the guitar myself. I'm actually getting an actual teacher to help me and kind of push me a little bit more. Right now, what it ended up being is that I was not holding myself accountable to anything. Everything else started taking a lot more precedence over my practicing guitar. So hopefully going forward, that won't be an issue because now I have a teacher. And last thing I want is for somebody to go, "Why didn't you study?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So there you go. Around the World in a Day is really great. I should write a book. Maybe. I don't know. It's one of those things. I am a writer, but I don't know if like there's so many great Prince books out there from people who knew him personally and whatnot, and like nothing that I could write would be anything more than just what Prince meant to me. So I think that's kind of the reason why I haven't. And I've played around with like outlining and trying to figure out if there's a thing that I could write, and I could always write a thing, but it would only ever be something like, this is what Prince means to me, like that's what it would be. So anyway, let's see. All right, so it looks like looks like we're up on an hour. So I'm probably I'm going to try and take the last couple questions, and then I'm going to go ahead and log off now. So let's see. I'm happy to see you live. Do we know of any music being released or a new project? How about Spike Lee wanting to do a documentary for various Prince albums the way he did for Michael Jackson? So first off, on the first question, do we know about any new releases coming? I would say we know that something is coming out in 2019, hopefully early 2019, through Tidal. That's all we got so far, that we just know that something is coming. But we don't know what it is or how big it will be or what genre, what era, nothing. We don't know anything. We just know that something's coming from Tidal because they signed a deal months ago that said, hey, we're going to do something with Tidal. So, and what I would like to see going forward would be 2 releases a year. I won't get greedy. 1 release a year is fine if that's all they can give us, but I would love to see 2 releases a year. So 1 through Tidal, one through maybe just the estate itself would be awesome. So the second question is, how about Spike Lee doing the documentaries? I would like to see that. I don't know anything about that. I haven't heard any news. He might have said that he wanted to do that, but I haven't heard any news about them saying they are going to do it. So there's that. So let's see. Have I heard of the Miles Davis and Prince album that was recorded? Heard about it in a Prince interview. I did hear about that probably in the same interview. But yeah, I mean, that would end up having to be some sort of deal between the Prince estate and the Miles Davis estate, most likely. Let's see. Thanks for the channel. Oh, thank you, Crystal. And did Jay-Z really want to buy Paisley Park? I've never heard that. I know that he wanted to buy the music in the vault at one point, and then that was turned down. But I never heard that he wanted to actually buy Paisley Park. That would be interesting. I don't know, what would you do with it? Like, why would he? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Hey, Funk Child, good job jumping in at kind of last minute here. I'm actually about to say bye, but it was good to see you. So with that said, this has been a really fun hour with all of you. But I am going to go because I'm actually getting pinged on my phone over here from the people who are organizing Moody Man Show, and I think we're going to go out and have some fun today before the show. So I'm excited to go do that. I will say, obviously, thank you to all of you who showed up to come and talk with me here. Definitely do make sure that you're checking out all of the different Prince channels here on YouTube. We definitely want to support everybody here. But also check me out on Instagram and Twitter. I've been a little bit lax on Instagram lately, but I'll start posting some stuff there. But I post a lot on Twitter, and obviously the Patreon at patreon.com/princessfriend. It's an amazing way for you to kind of see some of the behind the scenes stuff. I do post some bloopers and behind the scenes stuff. The stuff that I'm posting up this week, you're going to get another video if you're a patron on top of the 2 videos that everyone else will be getting. So it's going to be fun. Otherwise, I honestly just want to just say, thank you from the bottom of my heart to, all of you who kind of make this possible and make this worthwhile. I don't know if anybody follows me on social media and whatnot, but I did kind of have, a hard time earlier this week. And, it was through, an outpouring of love from all of you that I was kind of able to bounce back and not only bounce back, but also cross that 1.5 million views threshold, cross the 13,000 subscribers threshold. And that's because of you guys. And, I can't thank you all enough for kind of coming along with me on this journey that we are doing here with Princess Friends. So thank you so much. I love you all, and may you live to see the dawn, and you guys have a wonderful time.